welcome back. Let's fly Kerbal Space Program Science Mode. Okay, it's been kind of a slow start. I expected that. Not only is it a slow start, a lot of this is being kind of not really too surprising. But then I'm not really seeing what opportunities I'm having for a great deal of creativity yet. However, I expect some of this to change in the somewhat near future. I'm going to ask you to just kind of stick with me, stick with the series. Things are coming. Made a couple of changes since the last time I recorded. Actually, one significant change. Let me see if the piece should be in here now. Yeah, here we go. The heat shield. Deadly Reentry is back in the mod list. Did this because it's been picked back up. The reason I took it out originally was because we had the problem where, hang on here, let's load one of these old ships. Let's look at, what's the last thing we put together? Curb Flight 5-Bravo. Yeah, the reason I took it out was because we had the bug where where all my vehicles were exploding on the runway. That problem has, whoops, wrong button. Hang on, I was trying to get rid of that fuse box. Yeah, that problem with everything exploding on the launch pad, exploding on the runway, has been fixed. It's a fairly simple fix. They just don't enable the deadly reentry features until a couple of seconds after it loads in. Very simple solution to it. So that's back in. We have to keep all that stuff in mind. So last time we actually went through and we did unlock a few significant parts, such as a radial decoupler. Very, very important. Honestly, yeah, here we go. Also, we got the procedural wing unlocked, winglet, and also this custom, the 1.25 meter custom fairings for the procedural fairings. The objective now is, we're just gradually pecking away at some of this science. I want to accelerate the rate of science. I want to do this by actually getting into orbit. We'll try for a regular equatorial orbit and return, and after that we'll be looking for a polar orbit in which we can get a whole lot of EVA reports over all of Kerbin's different biomes. This is something that lots of people were telling me about that I did not know. I was assuming that, because you can only have one crew report per flight, I assumed that meant you also only get one EVA report per flight, and that is not so. I wonder, can we put more goo canisters on here in order to maximize some more of our science gain? We can do something like this. Will it be too horribly imbalanced? Let's do an experiment first. Experiment time. What I'm going to do is, let's see how many goo canisters can we put on here and it'll still allow us to enter and exit from the capsule. Can he get out? Guess what? He can. I expected that he would not be able to. If I go walk back to, will he be able to grab onto the thing? Yes, he is. Can he board? Yes. Guess what? You can put a whole bunch of science all over these things. Goo canisters. Another thing that I wanted to get done while I'm here. No, wrong button. Space to let go. Come on. Is I want to plant a flag actually here at Kerbal Space Center so it'll show up on my map. Come on, dude, get it. This is Bill, right? Come on, Bill. Good job. Hey, look at that flag. Isn't that just the best looking flag ever? Yeah, we're just going to name this KSC. Doesn't need any plaque text. Thank you. I'm looking forward to, we'll get orbital. We'll start doing some science in space. Make it a true space program. Eventually we'll get airplanes. What are you doing, dude? Dude, oh no. Dude, turn your pack back. He can't move. Turn your pack on. Alright. He got stuck in some geometry here. Dude, what happened? He's having some kind of a fit. Can you thrust out of it? No. Can you roll? Can you turn your pack back off? Does that do anything? Can you jump? What? Bill, no! Bill, speak to me, man! Bill! What's up with you, man? Man, he's got a surface sample in it, too. Alright. Here, let's just do a recover vessel like this. Did I get that surface sample back if I just recover a Kerbal by himself? Yes, I do. Woo, 2 science. That's good. Okay. Let's see what we can do with our tiny little 50 thrust engine. And this pod, in this configuration, I want to put this into orbit and return. Now with deadly reentry, this is actually considered, it already has its own heat shield. I do not need to add a heat shield to it. I'm kind of concerned that these extend past the boundaries of the heat shield. However, I imagine they're probably tough enough that it'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen, huh? I think I like that. This will be my standard for yeah, that'll be the standard for orbital fuel tanks. The blue represents like cryogenics for fuels that you have to keep very cold. Okay, there we go with this one. And this one, it just needs to be very small. But how much delta V do we want out of this thing? Let's call it even 500. There we go. Okay, so the whole vehicle has what? Delta V of 830. Using FAR, we don't need a full 4,000. Oh, you know what I'm missing? I need to put a procedural payload fairing on top of that. Actually, here we'll put it over so it'll work right. We'll put it over the whole thing like this. Let's go like this. Let me see. Is that? Yeah, that's an aerodynamics. I don't like the tall one, besides it weighs more. Yeah, we'll do this one right here. Like, here. Would you stick on there? Come on. Come on! Good. Alright, let's shrink this down a little bit. I always forget which key is which. R to adjust the radius. So we don't need it to be that fat. That looks pretty slick and cool and sexy. Do we want to go egg-shaped? Do we want to go conic? Let's take a look at the egg-shaped. Alright, that's interesting. Let's take a look at the conic. Come on, get off of there. Sometimes it's difficult to highlight on these after they go on there. Take a look at the conic. I believe I prefer the conic. That looks better. Good. Okay, so we already have the decoupler up on that part. Let's stick that right there. Good. Okay, so let me see here. Again, we have to take a look at staging. So we want this one to fire. Actually, yeah, we probably will want all of those to fire once. Well, but we'll give it a separate stage. Yeah, I just contradicted myself, but we'll get over it. There we go. That decouples, that engine fires. At some point later on, we get rid of all those, all those fairings. Then this decouples, and that engine fires. That decouples, and that parachutes. Good. This is going to be Curb Flight 6. Actually, here, we'll call it Curb Orbit. Curb Orbital 1. Because that is the goal. And we're still running so slowly. Yeah, and one of the mods is not playing nice with the others. That's what's happening here at the moment. We can still make it work, though. Alright, so we have this total delta V of 1715. But look at this. Thrust-to-weight ratio is very, very disturbing. I am not happy about that, but maybe we can start looking at building things sideways. Okay, well, we've got a positive thrust-to-weight ratio. But still only like half of the delta V that I'm looking for. Can we do like more staging? Because we don't really have the means. We don't have fuel lines. I suppose I could use the TAC fuel balancer in order to eliminate the need for fuel lines. But I'm not going to. That would be one example where we're using the mods would be cheating. Okay, that thrust-to-weight ratio is lower. That did not really improve our delta V status. Is this... I mean, it's got to be possible with these tiny, tiny little engines. Do I need to just go with an all SRB stage after this? Is that what I need to look at doing? No, hang on. We'll look at it this other way. And just keep on playing around with lots of ideas. What? Oh, the game just crashed on me. Oop, alright, have to redo some of that stuff as we have mild catastrophes with things crashing all over the place. There we go. Good. And give these guys their own rocket engines. Yeah, so these will be definitely much smaller, because they have a shorter burn time. They're all going to light at the same time. That's good. Okay, yeah, maybe this is working. So now we're up to 2,500 delta V. Let's go with, let's look at doing structural. Let's do it, we'll go with all SRB initial stage again. Oh, the colors didn't exactly match, did it? And this thing has crashed again. Oop, okay, I'm back. Yeah, after having spent a while, some of my valuable recording time doing debugging instead, what I have determined, the low frame rates and the crash, there is some kind of a conflict going on that these procedural fairings are not happy in this system. Okay, so, but the solution that I've come across, because I really do want to use procedural fairings, not least because they are the only nose cones I have at this point, other than, a whole command pod. I suppose I could put command pods around the whole thing. It seems like a not viable option, and, having this, and I'm using Ferrum's Aerospace Research means realistic drag, which means, yeah, having a flat end on that is not an option either. So the solution that I'm running with is we're just going to, here, let's see, this is Curb Orbital 1. I believe, the math, everything says it should work, just barely. Let's pull this one off. Here is the solution to this problem. I'm going to take this, oh, wait a second, no, I had it over here. Subassemblies, 1.25 meter nose cone. I'm going to attach that onto there. Boom, watch that immediately resize. I'm not going to save it with these procedural fairings installed. I'm just going to wait until, this is going to be the last part of the whole process, is adding these things on immediately before launch, because the problem with the frame rate, lots of time it doesn't immediately show up. Okay, so let's see here. Well, I need to make certain that these fairings are at the correct spot. Okay, yeah, that one detaches, and whenever that engine lights, that's pretty much this is a good spot. Where'd all these others go? They're down here. I just want to put those all the way up at top because they're going to go away, disappear. Let me see, yeah, these guys always want to come up separate. And close that. Okay, let's launch. Curb Orbital 1. This is gonna be the good one, This is gonna work. This is definitely gonna work. Should I allow Bill to continue being our lead Kerbal and all this stuff? I think not. I don't like having just one of the big three being the guy all the time. Let's go to crew roster. Wait a second. No, that's not what I'm after. Oh, there's a couple that we lost. No, Command Pod Mark 1, Bill, remove. Who do we want? Do we want Bob, or I think I actually want to move down into one of our volunteers and get into the volunteer corps again. Okay, Mikhail Kermiskov. He is going to be first Kerbal in orbit, if I did this correctly, if I designed this thing correctly. No struts or nothing. It's going to light off 7 SRBs. There's going to detach then our central liquid-fueled engine lights at the same time as 6 more SRBs. Those drop off. Then we have 6 more liquid-fueled boosters, and then we have a couple of regular stages on top of that. Less talking, more launching. Let's go, Mikhail. Whee! It launches. Let's immediately start to pitch over a little bit. Yeah, about that far. Let's try and lock it. Although we've got barely about the only thing that's steering it at the moment. is the... Oop, hang on. Didn't I... Yeah, okay, throttle up. There's a central engine. Yeah, okay, now we've got a little bit of gimbal control. But previously, you know, all we had was the reaction wheels inside the capsule. I don't really need SAS on at this point. There we go, starting to go supersonic. Definitely some nice thrust. And, okay, there we go. Now all our side boosters should go. Did I misjudge this? Do these guys, how much fuel do they have in there? Oh, I did misjudge. That's okay. We can still make it work. I just need to... Oh, okay. Yeah, I can still make it work with this. It looks like these side boosters will be carrying the middle stage for just a couple seconds. It's still viable. We can still... It'll still work. Yeah, okay. Over a little bit more. The math that we have with the engineer, it said that we should have just barely enough delta V. It's got like 3,700 delta V, but then again, that's not taking into account we've got the Kerbal ISP difficulty solver, so we're not getting it, you know, especially down in the atmosphere, we're not getting the rated thrust out of all these liquid-fueled engines. So I'm really not certain how well this is going to work. So we have this. Yeah, this will all work. It's, you know, not the most graceful of vehicles. Mikhail appears kind of upset about it. It's okay, Mikhail. I really think that this is going to work. Yeah, we've got some acceleration going on, just over 1G. Appear to be on schedule, very, very gradually tipping over into this gravity turn. We may be going a little bit too fast into this. We'll try and hold it right about here. Yeah, the apoapsis is still, yeah, for a while there we're getting closer to it, but it's getting away, so that's good. Second, that's... Oh, okay. No, it looks like these are going to burn a little bit faster than that one. Alright, I was just reading it wrong or something. Yeah, I think we're maybe tipping over a little bit too far. I don't know, maybe not. Apoapsis is 55 kilometers and climbing. Kind of concerned. Look at the electric charge. I don't have any batteries. All we have, and I guess these things don't generate electricity, do they? I hadn't really realized that previously. No, this is going to work. Come on, Mikhail, it's going to work, dude. Get rid of all those. Good. That's kind of pretty. Unfurling like the petals of a flower, isn't it? Oh, apoapsis is actually getting a little bit too high. Let's point this thing more horizontal here. Let's not be wasting any delta V since this has barely enough. Actually point slightly below the horizon. Oh, okay. Jettison that one. And we'll jettison the fairings and light this engine at the same time. Good. Good, okay. We'll hold it in place right about there. Good. Okay, this works. Matter of fact, I keep on looking at this charge. We've dropped like 20% of our electric charge. Weren't these things supposed to have like an alternator on them? I thought they did, but obviously I'm wrong. Okay, let's turn that SAS off. Apparently, yeah, that's going to be a problem. We're in space, man. Mikhail, we're in space. Be happy about that. Mikhail's he's just not certain about his lot in life. He's not certain he wants to be here. Nice, he's okay. He's not really freaking out. Coming up, okay, half a minute away from the, from reaching the apoapsis. But I don't know. This number is spooling down periapsis height. I think it's looking to me fairly likely, like we're a very good chance that we're actually going to meet our goal of our orbit with this one. Maybe the math was right. I was trying to pad it a little bit in the stats. Okay. And here's our final stage. As we're beginning our descent. Looks like it could be kind of close here, Mikhail. Half our fuel gone in the final stage. No, it's gonna... Okay, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. And I just need an orbit. We can actually stop. Okay, good. Boom. Orbit right there. Woohoo! Yes! I'm happy about that. Alright. Camera free. I wish we had some lights on it. Here, let's rotate it around just a little bit, just so we can see what's going on. Here, point it, like, straight up, like that. Good. Okay, okay. Mikhail. Oh, he's got a confident smile. He's like, man, I'm in orbit. How about that? And if we don't maneuver, oh, I guess we are still using some charge. Look at this. What is using charge? I don't have SAS on. I'm not maneuvering anything. I guess it's this thing. Electric charge, ablatives, avionics, and control. Can we... Here, let's toggle that torque off. Reaction wheels disabled. Let's get a crew report anyway. Seems we're very much in space right now. Yeah, we'll keep that. Let's do some goo reports. Observe mystery goo. Let's actually do it like 3 times. Yeah, let's keep that one. Observe mystery goo. Yeah, we're doing some goo spamming. Let's keep that one. I know it'll be diminishing returns, but we just want to milk it for all the science we got, especially as we're still losing charge. Okay, and we'll save the other 3 for wherever we touch down. Hope that's in a useful biome, you know? Speaking of, let me see, that thing's still draining. Wow. But we made it to orbit, man. Check that out. Check that out. I'm so happy about that. Okay, Mikhail, EVA. Good. Mikhail, where are you going? All right, turn that on. Turn that on. I'm not interested in you getting away. Stop tumbling around. Stop showing off. Go back, and I do not want you to drift too far away from your spaceship. And grab. Grab? Grab. Good. Good. Okay.